Welcome guys to the 3E Blueprint Academy, man. First off, thanks for joining into this webinar, episode 1 of the 3E Blueprint Academy, man. And it feels good to finally be here, man.
For sure.
So first off, man, Chris Lett, full-time entrepreneur, full-time father, and of course, kind of just, a man of my words when it comes to actually, generating and, creating generational wealth for businesses along the way. So for those who don't know me, once again, Chris Lett, full-time entrepreneur and of course CEO of Lett Blueprint Investments, where we pretty much specialize in LLC formation, logos, website designs, anything digital marketing. Pretty much starting your personal business or your personal brand from the ground up, we pretty much specialize in. So I'm also a co-CEO of Lett, which is an event planning, marketing, and fashion consulting company. And of course, I'm also a co-CEO of Mailbox Property Management, where we currently have about 19 to 20 properties located in the Toledo, Ohio area, to kind of fit, any housing needs. So that's a little bit about myself. UT graduate, 2018, and how I pretty much found my peak into, growing people businesses. I actually got fired from my 9 to 5, and I kind of had to figure a way out on, how to generate between $1,000 and $5,000 off of my cell phone. So I'm a prime example of this does work. Thanks to my partner right here, to the right of me. We actually created a formula which we're pretty much going to speak on today in regards to, generating and helping out your business. So that's a little bit about myself. Now I'm going to turn it over to the 3E side, to my guy. I can speak highly on him, but of course, Gaylon Hughes.
Appreciate it, Chris. Like Chris said, my name's Gaylon Hughes Jr. I'm your credit expert, also known as the co-owner of 3E Management Solutions. And just to give you a little background of myself, full-time father, full-time husband as well, and also just a little background of what I did as far as my career and job and schooling and whatnot. I went to about 4 to 5 colleges, dropped out of all of them. School just turned out not to be for myself. I wanted to go more towards the entrepreneurial venture. And then also, as far as me working and whatnot, I worked in telecommunications for the past 3.5 to 4 years, from Verizon to AT&T as a sales representative. Also was a store manager. Definitely was engaged in it, but I just knew that I was more focused on creating something for my last name and for the sake of my family, and just creating that generational wealth like Chris talked about. And then to go into what 3E Management Solutions provides, we're basically a one-stop shop for credit solutions. So we offer credit restoration services, building of personal and business credit, and then our products include anywhere from credit restoration, hard inquiry removals, personal credit mentorship, business credit mentorship, and also just being a consultant towards credit. So if you have any questions or concerns or need any guidance on how to build credit, I'm basically your man. And like Chris said, we got into this space of where me and him collectively came together just organically. We had an episode on my podcast called Talk That Talk, and we came together and just figured that our minds were alike and that we wanted to generate something outside of our first income, which led to Lett Blueprint Investments and then 3E Management Solutions. So now we're here and we're definitely going to give you the formula on how to do that. So I definitely advise you to please don't take this as a gimmick. Please don't take this as something to where we're trying to sell you something. Like my man always says, this is free 99. So please get your notebooks out, get your pens out, get your phones out if you're going to take notes on that. And please pay attention, because this is literally the blueprint that me and him talk about on an everyday basis. And it's led us to the revenue that we've generated with our companies.
Yeah. So once again, man, we both started from nothing, man. Like I said, I got fired from my 9 to 5 in early 2020, and I had to find a way out on how to generate and profit between $1,000 and $5,000 a month. So once again, we're gonna teach y'all on how to generate a lot of money off of your cell phone, and literally episode 1 right here, right now, for free. All right. So our formula that we're pretty much gonna speak on today's playbook is gonna be called GPS. All right. I'm gonna start off by pretty much speaking on the G. So let's get to it. All right, y'all. So today, we pretty much gonna speak on, of course, the acronym GPS. So I'm gonna speak solely on G, Gaylon's gonna speak on P, and then we're both gonna speak on S, all right? So when it comes to anything in life in general, you always wanna have a goal to pretty much leading you to success, all right? So we're pretty much gonna work backwards, which we pretty much consider reverse engineering as spoken on. And what we're gonna speak on is kind of how to make $1,000 to $5,000 a month all from your cell phone. Now, how do you do that? The first step, of course, is the World Wide Web. All right, this is one of the most strongest tools in today's society, especially with digital marketing. All right, so when it comes to the World Wide Web, you pretty much want to have tools. These tools, by the grace of God, are free. I'm sure y'all can probably think of them. We got Facebook. We have Instagram as well. We also have, of course, Snapchat. We also have, of course, your website, which you want to speak on, World Wide Web. And then, of course, the last but not least, World Wide Web can also kind of mean networking. All right? You would be surprised by how many people want to meet you, how many people want to link with you, thanks to your social media, which of course will lead to, of course, networking, meetings, things like that. So, in general, in order, of course, to generate that 10K per month that I spoke on, you of course need to have all these basic tools, which I'm sure you guys all have already, thanks to your cell phone. So, you guys have all these tools, right? Thanks to the World Wide Web. Now, of course, we're going to speak directly on the G. All right? So, G stands for goals. All right? What goal do you want to hit? So, say your goal, you're a stay-at-home mom, or, say you're a student, or say you just graduated college, say you have a 9 to 5, and you still want to make an extra source of income. Or, say you got fired from your job like I did, and, you kind of got to figure a way out on how to make money. Your goal could simply be an example, and it's outrageous as it sounds. Your goal can be 1,000. Your goal can be 25. Your goal can be 10,000. So I'm gonna do the one that people may think is hard to get. I'm gonna do the $10,000 one today. All right. So how do you generate $10,000? All right. The goal of the day is going to be $10,000. All right. So how do you generate $10,000 a day? I mean $10,000 a month, excuse me. You need to sell a product, a good, or a service in order to generate $10,000 per day. All right? So how do you do that? Say your good or say your product is clothes. Say you're good, or whatever kind of business you have, is selling hair products. So we're going to say hair products. Or say your service, for example, with me, is going to be LLC formation. All right. So how do you make $10,000 a month for yourself? Which is our goal right now today. So you want to break it down simply as possible. You need to sell a product, good, or service. You do basic math. You need to sell a product, good, or service for $100, guys. $100. As hard as it may sound, I swear it's easy as can be. You need to sell you need to sell a product, good, or service for $100 to 100 clients. All right. That will then generate $10,000. All right. Now I'm going to break it down simpler to make it better for you guys. All right. So in order to generate $10,000 per month, you guys can also break it down by day. So we're currently in September. September has 30 days in it, of course. So we're then going to do $10,000 divided by 30 days. And that'll pretty much generate $333. You want to be exact, $333.33. So it is what it is. All right. So you want to generate $10,000 per month. You need to pretty much profit and make $333 per day. All right. That's as literally simple as 3 clients per day can generate you $300. That's the G for this playbook on GPS. Next, we're going to pretty much get into the P.
So what's going on, guys? My man Chris, my business partner, got through the G in the GBS playbook that we're doing today, which was for goals. And today I'm going to discuss products/purposes. So let me put it on the board so you guys can see it. So now we're going to be doing P, which can be products. And I guess products can sort of be services as well. And then also /purpose. So it's a couple things that you want to have when you're forming your product or purpose. First off, with your product, a product is, in layman's terms, a product is something that fills a need or want in a market. Now with that, it can include several things. So you can do anything like Chris was saying, skincare products, weed for people in boutiques, like he does, his LLC formations, any type of products or services you can do your research on, but just in layman's terms, that's what a product does. Now your purpose is basically your why. Now that why can be personal, it can be for your business, it can be for whatever the case may be, but to put in my example, my purpose is for my family. Now my parents and generations before that in my family, they weren't taught financial literacy. So with me doing a credit solutions-based company, I want to make sure every family that I touch gets financial literacy that they can pass on to their loved ones and their family, and they know that knowledge and can leverage it in order to make their family financially free. So I'll put that up here as well, just in case you want to write that down. Purpose is just basically your why. So when forming or looking to get that $1,000 or $5,000 a month, all from your cell phone, you want to make sure that you have these two down to a T, because if you don't know what your product is and you don't know what type of industry you're in to succeed or excel in it, you're going to have a hard time making that goal. So hopefully you guys got this down, because I'm going to go into exactly what a product or service needs in order for you to be successful. All right, so when you're forming your product, it's a couple things that you want to have in place. So I'm going to write right here, product, but it's actually 4 things that you want to have in place. The first one is going to be pricing. So for example, for 3E Management Solutions, when I formed my company, I studied my competitors, and I've seen people who did things such as subscription-based models, and then I've also seen companies that did one-time upfront fees. So what you want to do is, when you're skimming your pricing or you're looking to do your pricing for your product or service, you want to make sure that you studied enough industries and enough competitors in your realm of products to where you know exactly what the competitors are charging, and then you have something in your price range that you think is going to be profitable to make that $1,000 or $5,000 a month. So the next one, for the pricing, you just want to basically have a strategy. And the examples of strategies can be subscription-based models. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't touch on that. So for 3E Management Solutions, I did subscription-based modeling, and what that does is, what that does is basically, when you're doing subscription-based, you have to think about the Netflixes, the Hulus, and those types of companies. It may be so small or something, it's just $10 a month, or it's just $20 a month. But that $10 or $20 adds up, and it becomes passive revenue. And when you're trying to get something that's like $1,000 or $5,000 a month, you can get a lot of money from, you get a lot of money from a lot of people, or you can get a lot of money from a little people. And in my base model, I think that since everybody needs credit, it's more beneficial for myself and the client to be more affordable, to where $100 for credit repair, it may sound like a lot to most people, but from my further research, it's actually a good price, and a lot of the other companies charge a boatload up front. So it's been beneficial for me, and it's definitely led me to that $1,000 or $5,000 that I've been generating for the past 4 to 5 months with my company. So So I'll put subscription or upfront as an example. Tyson, everything's good up here?
Yeah, it's right over
All right. So 2, the next thing is going to be is presentation. Now, presentation with your product or service is, hopefully I spelled this right, but presentation is so key. It goes from anywhere, like my partner with his company, it goes from website, logo design, your branding, from your personal pages to your business pages. You have to make sure that you present yourself in a way to where everything is in uniformity and it's so fluent to where you don't have any hiccups or obstacles when people are trying to look for your product or services. So for example, that presentation goes into, like I said, social media pages. It goes into your website. It goes into your logo. It goes into your brand. And I think the other example I had was, I guess you would just put business or personal pages. And what I see from a lot of people is a lot of people don't take the time to do an audit on their personal pages. And what I mean by that is your business page can say, oh, I'm selling skincare products and I'm doing well in this industry or whatever the case may be. But if you go to their personal page, they're out getting drunk every night, or they're out here cursing on their Facebook pages, and they're just not presenting themselves as a business or clean-cut entrepreneur. And you want to have a presentable profile on your personal pages because people want to engage in who the owner is. People want to know who is behind this product. And when you're producing this product or producing this service, you want to make sure that the client, that your customer or client base has no hesitation on going, that's a good person and I'm fully sold on who they are as a person, so I definitely want to buy that service. Because they don't buy your service because your service is good. Everyone provides the same thing. Nothing is not, everything is invented. So you're not going to produce something 9 times out of 10 that's invented out of nowhere. So you want to make sure you're selling yourself as a good person and a good human being so they can buy your service at a much higher and successful rate. The third thing we're going to go into is marketing. So Chris touched on this earlier. Marketing is basically how do you present your product or service to the masses. So like he said, it goes into social media, it goes into your website, it goes into the business cards that you give out. How are you presenting your product or service differentiated from your competitors? So with doing that though, it's other things than just social media marketing. So with this, you actually can go into email campaigns. You can go into, it's another one I think I had, customer reviews. This is a huge one, especially for my brand and my services. People like to see results. So if you have a service that produces results or gets your client to another platform, to another tier, you want to make sure that you have customer reviews on file, because people like to see what other people are buying. It's a monkey see, monkey do world. So you want to make sure that when you have your customer reviews, you can definitely advertise that, and then that way it makes your client or your customer base more comfortable, and then that way they're able to buy at a more comfortable rate. And then the last one's going to be that I had was events/networking. So when you're out to these networks or when you're at these events or you're out networking, you want to make sure you got your business cards in your pocket. You want to make sure that you're looking clean cut from your outfit to your presentation. You want to be able to make sure that you can market your business and you have these things on hand to where people know who you are. People know what your product or service is. And like Chris touched on, you do not have to be the full-time entrepreneur to do this. You can be working at McDonald's from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, that's your time to go network and market. So you want to have those business cards ready, or you want to have those customer reviews in a file or a folder to give to future clients or leads to make sure, hey, I'm still doing this on the side. However, I take it just as seriously as my 9 to 5. And then lastly, which I think is the most important one, and I'm definitely gonna put this on the top. Sorry guys, my presentation is not as good as my communication may be. It's value. Value is this. What do you want to bring with your product or service to the market? What do you bring? Or what do you or your product bring to the market? And then also, it was what loopholes does your product or service feel that your competitors do? I guess that your competitors do not. So it may be worded wrong, so I'll just say it in just a clear communicated. Basically what this means is, what loopholes does your competitor have? So that can mean, for Chris's example, he offers LLCs in one of his products and services in his company. Another paralegal may not market on social media. So what Chris does is, okay, I'm now the digital paralegal in Toledo, Ohio, or the Midwest market. Let me go study another paralegal, and if he's a 50 or 60-year-old man or woman, they may not be as comfortable with social media or be able to market. So what he does is, I'm gonna go make flyers. I'm going to make digital business cards and physical business cards. And what he does is so well is he markets himself every single day to where it is no question that his marketing is adapting to the new digital age versus somebody who's 50 or 60 years old who are still going to network events or small business chamber events that really don't move your client base as much as the digital age does. So these are the 4 things that I look into when I created my product and my brand, and you should too as well. So you got pricing, presentation, marketing, and value. Make sure you have all 4 of these things, because when you create your product and you do all of these well, you're definitely going to make that $1,000 to $5,000 that we're talking about. I'll move on to the S, and I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So last but not least, we're going to speak on the S when it comes to the acronym GPS. You know, we spoke on G, which stood, of course, for goals. You know, how much you want to generate, how much you want to make per month, whether it's your side hustle, whether it's being a full-time entrepreneur, whatever the case may be, how much you want to make per month, which stood for G, goals. We spoke on purpose and product, which means, you know, of course, you're going to have that product, you know, on pretty much what you're pretty much going to quote-unquote sell, and your purpose. So my purpose, for example, as he spoke on, Gaylon spoke on as well, is creating generational wealth for people, providing energy, providing some boost, you know what I'm saying, and of course, providing knowledge to y'all. You know, of course, the S, last but not least, stands for sales and systems, y'all. So today, the S, we're going to speak on sales and systems. We got sales, we got systems. So I'm going to let Gaylon speak on what he thinks system stands for.
So when creating any type of brand or product, you want to make sure you got a system in place, because the point of you making this side hustle or turning this into a full-time business, you want to work on your business and then to create yourself to get out of the business. I'll repeat that so in case you didn't hear that. You want to work on your business so you can create something so big that you can work out of the business. So basically you have a system in place so where you can pass it on to somebody and somebody else can take that over while you expand or go into a completely different business. So what system the acronym actually means is you have the S, which is save, and then you have the Y, which is yourself. And then you have the S again, which means save yourself. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry, guys. So you got save your, you got self, and then you have the T, which is time. You have the E, which is energy. That's a horrible E, we're gonna make it work. M, which is money. Now, this completely defines a system, and you want to make sure you have one of these in place again, because like myself and Chris, we've created two systems to where if we hire a worker, we hire an assistant or whatever the case may be, they can come right in and take it over, and they can work a Lett Blueprint Investments or a 3E Management Solutions just the way that we do it. So I'll pass it back to Chris and he can explain.
So an example of when you create yourself a system, of course, which means saving yourself time, energy, and money. Of course, that way, say I'm out of town, like in Houston, for example, or you're in North Carolina, or whatever the case may be, you still want this system to still operate outside of you. That way, if you ever, leverage and scale so heavily, which of course we want to make sure you do, you still want to create a system to where when you're gone, like he said, an associate, a consultant, a worker of yours can still do what they have to do to create and generate money for your company. So, an example of mine is I have a website where we pretty much generate leads such as logos, websites, business cards, things like that. And it is called Build Your Business. That is what I run my system around. Build your business form. All right? And this build your business form pretty much states all the basic things on what I would need to start a logo, a website, etc., etc., etc. So I would literally need the basic information: name, personal name. This is of course your business name, personal name, and I will also, of course, need your email to contact you back, and your phone number. All right. This is pretty much a lead generator on my website to how I pretty much stay in touch, stay organized, things like that for my particular business within my system. All right, so now I'm gonna let Gaylon speak on sales. And when I speak on sales, I pretty much mean when you profit money, how do you keep track of your numbers? How do you keep track of how much you spend on investments? How do you keep track of how much you spent on pretty much creating a system with Excel sheets, if you're using an app, if you're using a website? How do you pretty much save your money and let your money make money for you?
Correct. So Chris talked about what system he has in place in order to capture his leads and capture his clients and make sure he's doing the best thing that he can to keep the sales up in his business and also keep generating them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about mine and what I actually do to focus on building 3E Management Solutions. You can go ahead. So first, there's three things that I focus on when I'm trying to generate clients for my business or keep building them. It's going to be, I have a blue marker. Okay. So I have engagement. I have, it's going to be momentum and conversion. So the engagement part basically means how are you responding to the leads that you're getting? So how are you responding to them, or actually how you're even getting them in the first place? Like Chris talked about, one thing that you can do is keep your leads with a spreadsheet. So you can use Excel. I know Notes on the Apple iPhone has them. There's all sorts of things that you can do, or make a list of them. So a spreadsheet would be one. Like he said, a lead generator, which would be on your website page.
You can also use a CRM. So you simply go to google.com, type in CRM program. Of course, be some basic lead generator websites you can actually get. Subscribe to it if you spoke more subscriptions. So where that company is, of course, adapting and generating $5 to $10 a month. May not seem like a lot to that company, but for you, it's pretty cheap, it's affordable, and of course, you can, keep everything simple, easy, and of course, organized.
And I also say too, make sure that when you get those leads, I know sometimes you don't close on the first lead or interaction you get with them. Keep them in this spreadsheet, because I get clients all the time where they didn't want to sign up 3 months ago, but I contact them or I post a customer review, and now they're like, oh, I believe in his service or product, now let me sign up. So make sure you do that.
Very true.
The second one, momentum. So with momentum, I mean when you get a lot of sales, how do you keep going with it? So what I always do for mine is how to keep my momentum going is I post on social media 4 to 6 times a day. Now that may seem like a crazy amount, which I will admit it is, but you want to make sure that your presence is felt. You want to make sure that you're keeping the client or your audience knowing that you're selling this product or service, just so you can know that my product's in the forefront and I'm providing this good value, and I want to make sure everybody sees it.
And that's also very true. Now you gotta look at it. It may look like 4 to 6 posts is a lot. However, you can be at home making 4 to 6 posts saying I'm bored, somebody pull up on me, what's going on tonight, you know, and you can generate those. You can still say that, but you can also generate 4 to 6 leads for your personal business.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So you can make money off of your cell phone, once again, as we've spoken on, with simple 4 to 6 posts, 2 posts, 3 posts. How much ever you feel like your company needs to generate that certain amount of money per month, you can do it. It's pretty simple.
And I also say, another one that I want to speak on too as well is referrals. Now, I would tell you, referrals have made my company thousands of dollars just because I provided a service to a client and they're so ecstatic and well off with it that they want you don't have to tell them to do it, they'll do it themselves. So when Chris forms an LLC and he does a time frame of 24 hours when another paralegal does it in 2 weeks, that speaks volume on his product or service. That client is going to tell someone else. So make sure you keep a list of the people who gives out good referrals, because 1 referral can lead to 5 and 5 can lead to 20. So make sure you do that.
And an example of that is I had a girl in Texas I did a website for her, and she actually brought me 2 leads thanks to, you know, a good testimony on Facebook. And due to that, you know, that one $400 package turned into 2 other people getting an $800 package, which of course generated me to making over $1,400.
Correct.
So referrals, promotion. As Gaylon spoke on with moment.
So then we go into converting. Now basically this is just saying, how do you convert the leads that you're getting from your spreadsheet, CRM, lead generations or whatever, or it can be from you posting on social media and the referrals you get, how you converting those leads into actual clients. So how I do it is basically, let's say for example, I get someone, well before I go to that, how I convert my personal clients, let's say you get a lead or a generator. So you want to first start off with lead info. So with that lead info, you want to get everything that you're getting from that lead. What product do they want? What service do they want? And how are you going to leverage that to tell them, hey, my product or service is so good to where you need this, and let me present this to you.
An example of that is if you simply go to either of our websites, 3E Management Solutions
LLC.com.
Or if you go to let'sinvest.com, you can simply type, press the tab, build your business in a simple lead information form like mine. Will literally pop up and showing you what's the basic information you would need to contact that potential customer or client, and you can go from there. So converting is also very important when it comes to running a successful and online digital marketing business.
And then the second one I'm going to say is closing the lead. So basically what closing the lead is, what objections does that client have? So some people may interfere of, well, your pricing is too high, or you're not contacting me as quickly as another person does. Getting all those objections and interferences out the way. So once you have those out the way, now you can go into, okay, are you ready to sign up with our services? Are you ready to move on with our services? And then from there, you go to actually the welcome or startup process. So that basically for Chris, I'll let him explain his. For mine is they book their consultation with our credit services, which can be credit restoration. So now I'll send them their welcome email, which includes uploading their personal documentation, signing up for their credit monitor service. Once I get those things, I'm able to send off their dispute letters, and now the credit repair process begins. So that's my process. I'll let Chris speak on his as well.
So I have a lot of services that I offer when it comes to my company. However, a prime example of a good welcome or start or closing the lead process would be a client pretty much contacts me, via Facebook, via Instagram, or via my website. And that lead then generates me giving them a basic call or an email. Hey, this is blah, 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 call on behalf of investors, I know you're interested, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That lead then turns to them, I'm asking them, when are you looking to start? Is this price range okay for you? An example could be a website. So if a client contacts me saying they need a website, I pretty much send them over basic information, which is considered to be called a website questionnaire. They'll then send that back to me in full. Once I review the full questionnaire and I approve everything. I then tell them to, hey, either Cash App me, Venmo, PayPal, or simply go to my website and pay on there to pretty much get the process started. You know, so of course we do need money in hand to start any process. So a little tip for you guys as far as being a business owner is creating a hobby and turning that into a real professional brand or business. Always make sure you at least, of course, gather a down payment and gather a full payment. So of course also show your client that you're serious in meeting business. And of course also get that invoice so you can actually get a potential either tax write-off or file tax in the future.
No,
but that's going to be another video for the future.
Just to give just a clear, cutthroat way to say this, no pay,
No business.
I'm sorry, no pay equals no business. So if no one pays you or they don't give you their money up front for your service, now don't get too aggressive with it, but just to make sure that don't provide free services. We both are in the intellectual property realm to where we provide services based off our knowledge and how we do a particular service. So if someone approaches you and wants knowledge, of course you can give as much as you want, but don't let them take advantage of you to where you give them so much of your services and they want it for free.
So, and then also to speak on that too, to wrap things up, is when it comes to sales, guys, always remember that you want to, in a sense, outsource and look at your comps, which you consider competition or comps, whatever you want to call it. You know, so you know, Tyson, you know, or even Gaylon, you know, when it comes to certain packages that they offer, you know what I'm saying, I'm sure you know they did their basic research online, you know, they looked at their competition, they look at what their competition is doing, and not look at it as a burst thing, you know, but of course, you know, you want to leverage your company, you know, and make it successful. You know, so even if you have to collaborate, which we're doing right now, you know, to build both businesses, to make, you know, both companies a powerhouse, I highly suggest, you know, collaborating.
Yes, sir.
I highly suggest, you know, creating, you know, packages. I highly suggest, you know, giving away specials, giving back to the community, you know, things like that.
Labor Day specials, all types.
Exactly. So specials, things like that means a lot for your business because you're not only showing people, you know, that I provide a service, a good or a product, but I'm also willing to give back. I'm also willing to help you. I also want to see you win. So it's something that we call help me, help you, help us.
Yes, sir.
And that's something that we take very serious when it comes, of course, to selling the systems.
And my last thing I forgot to touch on is with this social media. When you're presenting your packages and you're presenting your services, make sure you keep it fresh. Things can get pretty redundant when you post 4 to 6 times. So you want to make sure you're doing different flyers or you're posting at different times and whatever the case may be. But just make sure you keep it fresh because you want to keep the customer's eyes at a new lens and make sure that they're seeing things, the same service, but in different ways that they may have seen at a different time.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So that's sales and systems, man. For the GPS, of course. Man, stay tuned, man. www.lettsinvest.com.
Yes, sir.
And then what's your website?
www.3emanagementsolutions.llc.com. If you got any credit needs, please come visit our website. I guess this is pretty much it for the GPS playbook. You'll be seeing a lot more from us, and please guys stay tuned for the next episode from 3E Blueprint Academy. I'm Gaylon Hughes Jr., your credit expert.
And I'm Chris Lett, of course, your Build Your Business guy. And man, once again, stay tuned on social media at CLetD. Where can they find you?
At GaylonHughesJr.com, also at 3E Management Solutions for our business pages too.
So once again, man, stay tuned for more services, more packages, more things like that. Once again, we're not here to sell y'all nothing. We're kind of here to give you our knowledge, man, to put it to your own company. Man, so shout out to Tyson, man. You want to give
shout out to A Creative Agency LLC. If you need any photography or videography needs, you'll see these in the below box for the tools, and you'll see his website and pages as well.
So stay tuned, y'all. Thanks for having us, man. 3E Blueprint Academy, more coming soon. But thanks. We out.